Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's your guy Coldfire, and today I am going to be reacting to Patsy Cline. And this is, I just reacted to Kitty Wells, and I was reacting to Patsy Cline Walkin After Midnight, but it got all messed up, so I'm coming back in here to redo it, and then I'll release this one. But I'm trying to follow the Queens of Country Music in order, and I tried to look for a better quality of this one, but I can't seem to find it. It's probably out there somewhere, but I did search YouTube all over. And it doesn't seem like this one has been remastered yet for some reason. But like I said, Kitty Wells was the very first female country singer. She had tremendous success for 10 straight years, but she was the only female country singer until Patsy Cline arrived. And Patsy Cline came out with Walkin After Midnight, which of course won the Arthur Godfrey Talent Show, which was sort of like America's Got Talent, or the other one, I can't think of, American Idol. It was a contest back then, and it was I think one of the only kind that it was in New York City. And back then there wasn't that many, TV shows, let alone most people didn't even own TVs in this period of time. So it was broadcast as well on radio stations. So most people back then only got to hear this on the radio. So that's probably why it's probably going to be in black and white and not as in good production as, say, some that have been remastered. But without further ado, let's get into this. Patsy Cline singing Walkin After Midnight live, and go from there. Hold on a sec. So that was Patsy Cline, Walking After Midnight, live. And I'm not quite sure, because I have on my channel here where I reacted to the Arthur Godfrey version of the song. And it sounded like big band style music, because that was kind of like the New York way of doing things, because she had a bigger band behind her. And after she won the program, she became a regular guest on the Arthur Godfrey show for a while. And I reacted to all of it's called The Birth of a Star, or The Birth of an Icon. I can't remember. But it was basically all of her 4-star recordings that she had up until then. Now, I know that... Let me see if I can pull it up and give you a little bit of information like I did with... Okay, Patsy Cline, born Virginia Patterson Hensley on September 8th, 1932. Died on March 5th, 1963, at the age of 30. Was an American singer. This is what I was trying to point out, that... Okay, you had Patsy Montana, who they say was the first country and western singer to sell 1 million albums with I Want to Be a Cowboy Sweetheart. Then I reacted to Kitty Wells, where Kitty Wells, it said she was a country and western singer and was the first to sell 1 million copies of her record, It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels. But I believe at the time, Patsy Montana, I think was in movies or something like that, or she was West Coast or something or other. I can't remember. But it was classified as different types, even though they were both country singers. I believe that Patsy Montana was a country and western singer, and then they had country singers with Kitty Wells. So maybe that's where the correlation comes at. But then when you get to Patsy Cline, it says she was an American singer. It doesn't say at the very beginning. But it does say on here that she was one of the most influential vocalist of the 20th century. She was known as one of the first country music artists to successfully cross over into pop music. Cline had several major hits during her 8-year recording career, including 2 number-1 hit songs on the Billboard Hot Country and Western Side charts. Now, there were 2 charts back then, like I pointed out. I think I did it in the Kitty Wells. But you had the Billboard Hot Country charts, and then you had just the regular Hot Country charts. So actually, Crazy, which I think I reacted to on here, on the Billboard Hot Country only reached number 2, which was one of Patsy Cline's biggest hit songs, which most people, when they hear Patsy Cline, they automatically think of Crazy. But on the Hot Country 100 charts, it did reach number 1. So that would have really given her 3 number 1 hits. And of course she had several top 10 hits. Okay, here it is. Cline and her... It says Cline and Hensley, which... basically, Patsy Cline had to have a talent scout manager, and at the time she didn't have one. So she convinced her mother to pose as her talent scout agent, because Patsy Cline's mother had the last name Hensley. But at the time, Patsy Cline had her last name Cline from her first husband, Gerald Cline. They flew into New York City's LaGuardia Airport on January 18, 1957. She made her debut appearance on the program on January 21st. The day of the show, she met with the show's producer, Janet Davis. Cline had chosen A Poor Man's Roses or A Rich Man's Gold to perform on the program, but Davis preferred another song that she had recorded, Walkin' After Midnight. Cline initially refused to perform it, but ultimately agreed to it because she called her record label, and in this processing time, this was when she was still stuck in Four Star Records, but Decca Records, she was also working for them as well. And they had an agreement that as long as Patsy Cline recorded their material, she could also get on the road to start doing with Decca Records. So basically, Owen Bradley, who was the producer at the time, told her, no, you do Walkin' After Midnight or you don't do nothing at all. She didn't want to do Walkin' After Midnight because she didn't like it because it was considered a pop song. Patsy Cline wanted to remain country. Anyways, after refusing that and agreeing to it eventually, David also suggested Patsy Cline wear a cocktail dress instead of the cowgirl outfit created by her mother. She performed Walkin' After Midnight and won the program's contest that night. The song had not yet released as a single yet, though. To keep up with public demand, Decca Records released the song as a single on February 11th. The song ultimately became Cline's breakthrough hit, peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Hot Country and Western Sides chart. The song also reached number 12 on the Billboard Music chart. The song has since been considered a classic in country music since its release. Now, I know that, where was it at? Anyways, but yeah, that was Patsy Cline doing her breakthrough song, because from 1955 to 1957, recording back-to-back songs with Four Star Recordings, she wasn't getting anywhere because of the songs were, not all that great. They weren't tailored to fit her. They didn't give her that push of recognition. It was like they were holding her back. Rumors circulated that the guy who owned the recording contract was, in love with Patsy Cline and wanted to keep her as long as he could. Patsy Cline, of course, was already preparing to marry her second husband, Charlie Dick, which I want to show you if I can find it on here. I will show you the picture that I have. This is me. This is Charlie Dick, Patsy Cline's second husband. And this is my husband, Chris. This was at Winchester, Virginia. This was the last time we saw him a few years before he eventually passed away. But, yeah, that was pretty much it for that. But, yeah, got to meet him and got to meet Julie, but only got to picture with Charlie because Julie was busy at the time. But I did meet Julie at the Patsy Cline Museum, which was above Johnny Cash Museum in Nashville. It has since been taken down for some reason. I don't know why. But we went that day also and saw the plane crash site, which was eerily haunting. But I had to see it and pay my respects. And then on the way back, found out that Loretta Lynn lived not that far away from the crash site because she was so close to Patsy Cline that she actually gave up singing for a couple of years after Patsy Cline passed away, because she always said that Patsy Cline was her rock, and she just felt that she couldn't go on because Patsy Cline was her mentor. She pushed her out there. Patsy Cline was never afraid to sing in front of anybody. Loretta Lynn was very nervous on the stage and scared because of many reasons. I would be scared to sing in front of myself in front of a mirror. But anyways, on our way back, I didn't realize that she only lived 30 miles away from the crash site, Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. Odd story about that is she bought the house because after becoming the third basically country singer, Patsy Cline, Kitty Wells opened the door, Patsy Cline tore it down, which helped Loretta a lot because it opened the standards that women could sell tickets, they could sell shows, they could make hits. And so we decided, hey, we're going to stop by here. And the tour guide was telling us that when Loretta Lynn originally bought the house, it was a old plantation house and big 2-story white house. But when she bought it, she didn't realize she was buying the whole town. There was like thousands of acres that came with it. So she was basically the mayor of the city of Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. She just thought she was buying a house in Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. But that was the kicker of all things. But I did get a chance to meet her. And she said that Patsy Cline never left her side. And ironically, after leaving that house and getting to meet her one time and see the museum that was on, the premises there, it was quite breathtaking. But it was only, I think, a month or two after that Loretta Lynn passed away. So I'm like, okay, I just need to stop being around, stop meeting country singers or singers in period, because I might be bringing bad luck to them. Anyways, that was my reaction to Patsy Cline Walking After Midnight live. I'm assuming that they replicated this scene because they could not, they didn't have the Arthur Godfrey show recorded on film. That's what I'm assuming, because it never turned up. But that happened a lot back then. They didn't usually go around recording everything like we do today. So it's quite possible that they wanted to replicate this to give her face recognition. I am getting so tongue twisted. But anyways, that was the incredible Patsy Cline Walking After Midnight live, 1957. Hope you enjoyed this reaction, and let me know what you think. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. It would help me out a great bit. And until I react to my next reaction, I love you guys from here in the U.S. to wherever you may be at listening to me. So Let's just show a little bit of kindness and respect and love for everyone in the world, okay? Love you guys. Bye-bye.